The Georgia Bulldogs squaring off against the LSU Tigers at the Maravich Assembly Center, the Deaf Dome in Baton Rouge. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. Georgia goes with Bennett, Wilson, and Austin up front. Laterro Green, second leading scorer in the SEC at 24 points a game. And Rod Cole, the Dogs' assist leader. He has 54 on the season. Hugh Durham is the head coach at Georgia for his career, over 450 wins. The LSU Tigers line up this way. Singleton and Griggs at the forwards. Shaquille O'Neal, who leads the conference in scoring, rebounding, field goal percentage, and block shots, is the center. In the backcourt, the best three-point shooter, Mike Hansen, and T.J. Pugh, who leads the Southeastern Conference in assists.
Actually, both games were really well played, but the one down here, that overtime victory that Georgia had, was a big win for them last year. Really helped propel them forward to win their first SEC championship last year. Anytime you can win on the road in the Southeastern Conference, you've accomplished something.
And LSU in the Dale Brown era has become a national power, and the Tigers currently working on 15 straight victories here at the Maravich Assembly Center. Tigers off the opening tap. Georgia lining up man-to-man defensively.
Yeah, straight man-to-man. No gimmick defenses. Gonna have a little help on the inside.
Hansen from outside, an air ball, but Griggs saves it. Griggs' follow shot no good. O'Neal tried to tap it, but it's Marshall Wilson of Georgia that comes away with the ball.
Now let's see how LSU opens up defensively. They're going to go man-to-man. Dale Brown said he would probably play mostly man-to-man tonight, even pressing after the first timeout, which I thought was kind of interesting, considering the fact that he's a little slim on the bench. Georgia is not. They can go down to 10 or 11 players.
Dale Brown using some combination defenses against Kentucky on Saturday, trying to mix it up. Here's Neville Austin bringing Shaquille out at long range. He drives by them and almost scored. The pass, the basket, no good, and LSU comes the other way. That was a surprise to see Austin driving on O'Neal.
Look at Singleton.
He'll take it to the hoop and score. Vernell Singleton of LSU with the first bucket of the game.
With authority, right down the lane. Interesting, LSU goes man-to-man, and Hugh Durham counters by pulling Austin out. Now he goes back inside against O'Neal.
Dumps it off inside. The shot blocked that time by LSU. Griggs got a piece of it. Pugh lobs to O'Neal for the slam.
You don't want to sit and think about it too long. You better get down the court, because O'Neal will be positioned down low to grab it and throw it through.
Shaq O'Neal averaging 29 points, 15 rebounds a game. 7'1" sophomore.
Good defense by LSU. Great hands.
Griggs with another steal. He leads the Southeastern Conference in steals. Sean Griggs.
Hugh Durham off the bench already, upset with his club the way they're playing. He does not like turnovers. He's been forcing a few of his own, forcing 23 from his opponents.
O'Neal triple team, throws it right to Green of Georgia.
Tom Shaquille threw the ball away 7 times against Kentucky. Almost lost it. Georgia got it back.
Austin underneath. That'll be a goaltend as Neville Austin at 6'10", shooting down at the basket as O'Neal swats it away.
Well, when you're 6'10", going and get 7-1, I think maybe you can get up high enough to call it goaltending. Look at this shot. Way up in the air. I tell you what, I love the way Shaquille blocks shots. Now watch this. It's not just a block. I mean, it is a total rejection. I mean, it's a blow.
Blocked it with authority, but it was a goaltend on the way down, and Georgia has its first bucket. It's 4-2.
Some guys do it mildly. He doesn't do anything mildly.
He's getting more aggressive all the time. In fact, put on about 10 pounds over the summer and increased his vertical leap from 28 to 35 inches. He's had it stolen that time, but Hansen recovers. He misses in close. O'Neal's got it back. O'Neal's short jump shot is good.
Georgia had the steal. They had a double down. O'Neal lost it, got it back. So far, LSU looks a little crisper.
LSU hitting the offensive board. Shaquille O'Neal, no one able to get it away from him that time.
Good pressure by Hansen. Griggs really denying the pass on the wing. LSU looks a little bit better defensively today than they did against Kentucky and Lexington on Saturday.
Daring Neville Austin to shoot the long-range jumper. He thinks better of it, and they feed it back outside to Green.
I don't think Austin's going to be the guy that's going to take that shot. Georgia being very patient on offense.
Marshall Wilson penetrates to the hoop, can't hit the short bank, and O'Neal clears the rebound. They got to hit those.
Maybe the philosophy of Hugh Durham in this game is to spread the court. If LSU's in a man-to-man defense, try to take a one-on-one. Good steal by Georgia.
Laterro Green, stolen by Pugh. I think Green was assuming he was going to coast in for the layup. Pugh recovered to knock it away.
Remember the old Satchel Paige line? Don't look over your shoulder. Somebody might be traveling you. Here he comes right now. Look at Pugh right into your living room.
He was gaining on him, and he got it away. Green misses the jump shot. Hansen with a rebound. Griggs.
LSU looking sharp. Georgia needs to push the ball a little bit more. They're going to spread this thing out a little bit. Be very patient on offense. A little bit different alignment than what you've been seeing from the Dogs so far this year.
6-point lead is LSU's largest. So far, Pugh has cut off the scoring of Laterral Green. Gets around Green and Hansen that time. Can't score. Gets around Pugh and Hansen, and Green missing the jump shot. Out of bounds. Last touch by Marshall Wilson of Georgia. Hugh Durham's team frustrated so far. They have only 2 points. And LSU has built a 6-point edge early in this one. First half, LSU taking command of the game early. The dominating presence of Shaquille O'Neal inside, forcing Georgia to miss some shots they would normally make. And so far, the Bulldogs having trouble hitting the basket. Only 1 of their first 6. LSU connecting on 4 of 7. And the Tigers of LSU dominating the boards, out-rebounding the Dogs 7-1.
Georgia pressing down court. Good release valve with O'Neal in the middle. Just throw it up in the air, let him get it, and get by and get it back.
Singleton spins on Austin. Nice move, Vernell Singleton.
Here comes LSU's press.
Singleton playing with 5 stitches in his lip after he caught a Reggie Hansen elbow in the game against Kentucky. Here's a foul called on T.J. Pugh of LSU. That's the first foul of the game.
Tom, that's where quickness really affects this Georgia team. When you see Laterral Green take the basketball and hit for that baseline, there are very few players in this country that can keep up with him. And he just showed you right there. Pugh's quick. He got by him.
Georgia puts the ball in play. Rod Cole baseline, fakes Hansen and scores. Rod Cole with his first basket of the game, averages 11 a contest.
Georgia immediately right back to that press.
Griggs to O'Neal. Double teamed on the baseline, finds the open man Hansen. Straight away Pugh as they set it up again.
Well, Bennett's got his hands full down there. Austin over to help.
Dish to Pugh did O'Neal when he was double teamed, but Wilson with a great steal. He leaves it for Green. Griggs with a block.
For the second time, Green unable to finish the play.
Hansen, Singleton. O'Neal can't follow, and Austin has it for Georgia.
If Shaquille would have grabbed that one, we would have had about a 6-8 on the Richter scale.
Rod Cole backs it out. Bulldogs having trouble in their offense against a swarming LSU team.
Let's look again right down inside. Now look at Green, picks the basketball up. He's going to go in a little casual right there. You got to go in with authority to that basket. Griggs was there to slap it away, and a good defensive play by Griggs.
6-point Tiger lead.
Sean Griggs is a great defender for this LSU team. Good role player.
Georgia showing patience on the half court.
He threw it in. It was going to be a lob. They were going to lob it in, and nobody was there to catch it, and it went off the glass and in.
Neville Austin gets credit for that one, the most unusual shot of the year so far. LSU turns it over.
Neville says that planned it all the way.
5th turnover against LSU gives Georgia a chance to cut into that lead. Wilson open, won't go. Offensive board, though, by Bennett. His follow over O'Neal off the glass.
Orlando Bennett really shot it over 2 people. He got it over Singleton and O'Neal.
A flurry by the Bulldogs has carried them within 2 as they press.
Well, good job by Hansen handling this press. A good kick to the right.
Dribbled out of it. Pugh goes to O'Neal. Big giant step. The shot rolled away, though, and Wilson has it for Georgia. O'Neal hits normally 65% from the field to lead the conference. That one he would normally make. Cole for 3, no good. On the floor to Pugh. Hansen spotted up, dribbles in to take a 15-footer good.
Nobody guarding Hansen. He made the move right into the lane. Now Georgia's picking the pace up a little bit.
Hansen has been in double figures 5 straight games.
Nice pass by Green. He had Cole on the baseline. Now they're going to pull it back out. I think initially, Tom, they like to get down inside. If they can get that break, they'll take it. If they don't have it on that first initial thrust, they're going to bring it back out and spread the floor.
O'Neal blocked the shot by Cole, but it's saved by Bennett. And Georgia retains possession. There's the penetration. Green stuffed by O'Neal. first foul of the game on O'Neal, who blocked the shot easily, but got him with the body.
Now, you want to talk about courage? This is 6-1 against 7-1. Look at this. Green looks around, he draws the foul. Shaquille right there on top of the ball. See the left arm thrown out by Green right there? Again, in pro basketball, that goes against the offense.
I'm not sure he got him much with the body either, although it looked worse in person than it did on the replay. First foul on Shaquille O'Neal, who has improved his play in that department dramatically this year. Foul's a big problem for him last year, much better this season, although he had a key play in the Kentucky game on Saturday when he lost his poise just a bit and drew a technical foul, which proved to be a key play in the game. Laterro Green, who is 7th in the SEC in free throw shooting at 78 a game, misses that one. Green still looking for his first point of the game. He averages 24 and had that great game against Kentucky.
Tom, not only do we have two teams here that really are at the top in most of the statistics for this Southeastern Conference, but we got two players right at the top. We got the #1 and #2 scorers.
O'Neal and Green. Green had 38 against Kentucky. I think it said 28. He had 38 against the Wildcats. O'Neal is fouled. Personal foul committed by Reggie Tinch, who came out at that last dead ball situation. Tinch commits the Bulldogs' first foul of the game.
O'Neal's got the basketball. It's like a magnet. It just draws red jerseys. Ball was on the floor, so there was a common foul. They'll not shoot the free throws.
Tinch and Harvey are in the game for Georgia.
Harvey has been very, very effective off the bench for the Bulldogs in the last couple of games.
Averages 8 points and 4 rebounds a contest. Griggs penetrates and puts in the short jumper after Harvey tried to draw the foul. Griggs has 4.
Again, the press. Zone press. 1-2-2.
Lem Howard's also on the floor for Georgia, the senior. Howard 6'7", out of Atlanta, averages 5 a game.
LSU falls back into a man-to-man immediately. Georgia goes to an outside shot.
Outside shot by Harvey. No good, and LSU controls the rebound, protecting a 5-point lead.
Watch O'Neal
on the lob. Oh, a block, but a foul on Harvey of Georgia. First foul on Antonio Harvey, who again had his hand covering the ball, but got him with the body.
Tom, I thought Harvey made a pretty good play that time. There were two Georgia players. I thought maybe Green had a hand on the ball. Harvey came back from the backside and got it. Now watch the lob over the top. When you front a player like this, you run the gamble of him possibly getting it underneath. Now from that angle right there, it's very difficult to tell if he got his arm or the ball. He was complaining.
O'Neal missed the free throw, only a 64% shooter at the line. He's had 32 double-double games, points and rebounds. And earlier this season set a Pete Maravich Assembly Center record with 53 points against Arkansas State. Timeout, LSU in command. From the Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge, Tom Hammond and Larry Conley, where LSU leads Georgia 15-9 at the 11:44 mark. Georgia hitting only 28%, although that's an improvement from the last time we checked, while LSU 7 of 12, 58%. They've gotten most of those points inside. Points in the paint, 12 for the Tigers, only 4 for the Dogs of Georgia. Howard double teamed in backcourt.
Tom, we're going to talk about what's going to take over in this basketball game and what will dominate. So far, it has been LSU's inside game.
Lem Howard with a short jump shot is good. Off the bench, Lem Howard for a deuce. The fifth-year senior pulls the Dogs within 4.
He's also a player who's been playing pretty well. Last 5 games, he's averaged about 6 points a game.
O'Neal got a little fancy, dribbled it in, and promptly threw it away.
Tom, I think one of the strengths of this Georgia club is the fact that they've got a good bench. They really have a lot of players who can come off of there and give them a big lift. In fact, they're averaging 33 points a game from their bench, which I think is outstanding.
Depth is something Dale Brown doesn't have much of, especially with the suspension of Wayne Sims over the weekend. O'Neal rebounds the miss by Green. Laterro Green still does not have a field goal and only 1 point in the game. The All-SEC guard averaging 24 a contest coming in.
Low post, Singleton inside to O'Neal.
Easy 2 on the reverse. Shaquille O'Neal has 7 in the first half, and the LSU lead back to 6. Green dishes to Harvey for the slam.
Well, that was a great play by Georgia. They beat the initial wave of LSU defenders. Got past the half court, 3-on-1, nobody back. But O'Neal, tough to defend 3-on-1, even when you're 7-1.
Harvey with a slam, a play that his brother Richard, a New England Patriots defensive linebacker. Would have appreciated. He's in the audience tonight. Howard on that ill-advised shot. Looked like a Georgia player got a piece of it. Dogs come the other way.
Sounds like New England's got a new football coach.
They do today. McPherson is the new coach of New England. Howard missed that little short jump shot, and O'Neal all alone for the rebound. Steal by Green. Green against Pugh, and he'll hold it up. That's the 8th turnover committed by LSU.
LSU having difficulty taking care of the basketball, and we've only played half of this game in the first half.
Green goes inside. Harvey against O'Neal. Cole on the point, and now Green takes over.
Georgia again with the patience. Screen down inside. Watch the double screen. They'll try to get Cole baseline. That's an illegal screen on Green.
Latero Green with his first foul. That's only 3 now against Georgia.
Let's go back and take a look at that good work, good basketball, good pass. Green got it inside. Oh boy, that's the way you pass it. I like a guy who'll give the ball up down inside. Of course, he was probably looking at O'Neal and saying, I don't want to shoot this one. I'm going to give it to Harvey.
O'Neal gets a rest. That's Harold Boudreau who's come in to replace him as Harvey makes the steal.
Another turnover for LSU.
Antonio Harvey timed that one perfectly to pick it off. Also in the game for LSU is Geert Hammack, who is from the Netherlands, 7-foot center replacing O'Neal. So Boudreau and Hammack both coming in at the dead ball. Howard over Singleton. Singleton partially blocked it. Lost underneath though, finally claimed by Boudreau. Singleton. Nobody wants it. Henson will fire a 3.
That's the way you do it. Let it bounce off a couple of hands, pick it up, and let it go in. Latero Green on the side now.
Green, baseline drive on Pugh, collides with Hammack, who commits the foul.
Thought Green might have been a little bit out of control that time. Hammack did not get there in time. Watch it again. It's going to be a pretty good angle right here to see if, in fact, he did. Now, not that far. Camera a little bit close. Official wasn't. Got that finger pointed right at LSU.
Orlando Bennett has replaced Harvey in the Georgia lineup. Rod Cole rimmed out. Singleton on the rebound.
Well, Georgia really having difficulty finding the hole. They're not shooting well at all.
Just can't hit the basket. 7-point lead for LSU. Green slapped it away and out of bounds. Back to LSU.
Noticed you didn't reach for that.
I was figuring you would protect me with those great hands, as all of those who thrilled to the exploits of Rupp's runs will attest.
That was 25 years ago. I'm a little slow.
I wouldn't have told that, but you told it on yourself. Sean Golden is number 10 in red, who's come in. There's Hammack going out for LSU as O'Neal returns to the fray.
Good plan by Dale Brown. Get Geert Hammack in there, give Shaquille O'Neal a little bit of a blow. Boudreau with a charge.
Boudreau lost control, yeah, and he collided pretty hard with Orlando Bennett. Boudreau lost his footing. He was slipping and sliding all the way to the hoop and had a collision, a tough one with Bennett.
Orlando's being asked to be taken out of the game right now.
Here's that collision again. We'll see it in a minute.
LSU again pressing, Tom. I think this is kind of interesting. You know, as short as they are on personnel, LSU got the steal.
Hanson can't hit. Singleton batted it around. It finally comes down to Georgia. Reggie Tinch gives it up to Golden. And the shot no good by Harvey, who's back on.
Well, what a great play down inside there by Reggie Tinch.
And a nice pass from Harvey to Howard, who gets behind O'Neal for the jam. He has 4 points. 5-point Tiger advantage.
Tinch, Harvey, and Howard off the bench, giving Georgia a little bit of a lift here. As I said, they do have a good bench, very strong. Good number of players for Hugh Durham to reach down and throw into that game.
Inside to O'Neal.
I tell you what, you can put your whole bench out there and not stop him. You can put all 12 guys around him. LSU right back with the press.
Raw power of Shaquille O'Neal. He has 9 points. Again, LSU back up 7.
Again with authority.
Latero Green finally discovers his shot. That's his first field goal. He has 4 points after that 3-point. And he's only 1 of 5 from the field. Hanson, 3-pointer. Strong rebound by Harvey, who was blocked out by Boudreau and went up top to get it.
Harvey got those good long arms out there and made up and reached and got it.
And Lem Howard. Lem Howard with his 6th point, and Georgia on a mini run here. They're within 2 at 22-20.
Again, it's Howard, Harvey, and Tinch that are doing the job.
Quick hands that time by Reggie Tinch, almost resulting in a steal. It'll be back to LSU. Shaquille O'Neal with a thunderous dunk. LSU trying to cling to the lead here.
Tom, that's a great pass by Mike Hansen to get it inside.
All right, LSU by 2. Will return after this word from Pepsi. Georgia Bulldogs in the midst of a 5-0 run have pulled within 2 of LSU with 6:40 left in the half. Special visitor here at the Maravich Assembly Center tonight over on the LSU bench, Antonio Diaz-Miguel, who is the national men's basketball coach of Spain. He's a friend of John Wooden and of Dale Brown. That's how they made the connection. Wooden and Brown were friends, and Miguel got the introduction. He's also here to take a look at Mike Hansen, the LSU player, the sophomore, who is a native of Madrid, Spain, still is a Spanish citizen, and could be a member of the Olympic team for the Spanish in the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. Hansen being scouted by Coach Miguel here tonight.
Georgia back with full pressure. Jody Patton into the game now for the Dogs.
Patton, the 3-point specialist for Georgia.
Georgia getting good productivity off of their bench again tonight.
Griggs drives baseline, pulls up, and is called for the charge. Sean Griggs with his first foul.
Jody Patton with good defensive work that time. He moved his feet, got into position, and drew it. Sean Griggs a little out of control right here. Good double team by the Dogs out top. Good position, hands extended, ran right over the top of him.
Golden beats the pressure, gets it easily into front court to Tinch. Patton for 3, no good.
Well, look at Harvey.
Rebound. Harvey's done a great job on the boards for Georgia. There's the turnovers and the points off of, and LSU turning it over, but Georgia unable to convert.
Yeah, Antonio Harvey's done such a good job of coming off the bench. A little bit of everything, rebounding. We've got a little bit of a problem inside. John Clockerty's going to stop play. Now, you know, this shot was in the air when he blew his whistle.
Tinch and Griggs were bumping and grinding a little bit over there, and Clockerty is going to have a talk with Tinch of Georgia and Griggs of LSU and tells him to cut it out.
You know what? And they're both gone if they don't stop it right now. Now watch. When Harvey's got the ball, and here's the battle going on right here. Patton's going to get the ball. John Clockerty blew his whistle while the shot was up in the air. Now look, see there? Shot's already gone when he blows his whistle. They're going to get possession back to Georgia.
Saved Patton a miss.
Jody says thanks.
Set a screen for Patton, but he can't get the shot off. He'll come up to set the offense and give it to Golden. Shaquille O'Neal looks like a giant condor as he spreads his arms in there, unable to or unwilling to come out and get Harvey. There's an LSU foul inside as they draw O'Neal out and then go to the hoop.
Tom, you almost want to believe that if you play on this LSU team and you're not Shaquille O'Neal, if you're guarding somebody that's down inside trying to attempt a shot, you know he's going to be around somewhere. I think I would back off and maybe try to play a little bit better defense down on the floor, and when the shot goes up, depend on that man to go get it.
16 foul against LSU. The second personal on TJ Pugh as Jody Patton toes the line. Pretty good free throw shooter, about 78%. He's a senior out of Tifton who averages 8 a game. Is the Georgia all-time three-point field goal leader with 127 made coming into this game, shooting 47% from three-point range.
He's third in the conference. Scott Drought at Vanderbilt and the young Houston young man who continues to be a great player at Tennessee.
Allen Houston playing for his dad Wade. And Scott Drought of Vanderbilt. Best three-point shooters.
Griggs lost it.
Griggs lost control of the basketball, and luckily for the Tigers, it's last touch by Patton as it goes out of bounds.
You know, I'm just wondering, he's got his right thumb taped. I'm wondering, was his left thumb. Now watch him take it on the inside here. Look at this. See, he's extended, and he just lost control of the basketball. It just flew out of his hand.
Griggs is going to go to the bench as Lanier Burns comes in to replace him. Burns is a 6'7" freshman out of Angie, Louisiana. Scramble for the ball and a walking call against Cornell Singleton. LSU continuing to be plagued by turnovers. That is number 13 against the Tigers. Georgia has only 4 miscues as Dale Brown thought some contact might have caused the travel.
Harvey could take that one. Decides not to. With LSU playing this man-to-man, we got an illegal screen here? No, it's going to be a hold against LSU.
And Georgia will have a chance to take its first lead of the game. Singleton has the personal. That's his first, and number 7 against the Tigers.
1-1.
Should be a 1-1, as Hugh Durham is pointing out to the officials, and Antonio Harvey very alertly pointing up to the scoreboard to tell John Clockery that's number 7. So Jody Patton will shoot 1+1. Largest lead for the Bulldogs is 1. First time they've had the advantage.
Tom, I got to say that when you take a look at this club, Georgia really has responded again. It's their bench that's come off and given them the lift. The starting lineup was not able to produce. Hugh Durham reached down, grabbed some fresh legs, put them out there on the floor, and now they put the Dogs ahead.
Patton with 4 free throws off the bench, and Georgia has the lead. The Georgia bench has outscored the LSU Pine 12-0.
Well, we talked about that at the top of the show. LSU with, oh, there he goes again. I love it.
Great pass from T.J. Pugh. You see why he leads the league in assists. Beautiful lob to O'Neal for point numbers 10 and 11.
Oh, I love that play. Good pass by T.J.
Tie game at 24. We have 4.5 minutes left in the opening half. Harvey from 16. No good. On the floor, and a traveling call against Georgia. Tinch went up between LSU players, but came down and was called for traveling.
Pretty good effort down inside. Now, watch this play again. Boy, is that a great spin move. You know what you do? You just put him on your hip, a little fake to get the defender to go forward, and as soon as you do it, you reverse yourself, go 180 degrees, and you get the lob. Good play by Pugh to throw the ball up there and let him grab it.
Marshall Wilson has returned for Georgia. The announcers for this game, selected and compensated by JP Sports. This broadcast a copyright presentation. Any use of the broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and JP Sports is prohibited.
Nice house here tonight. Got a few students here. Wilson with a steal.
Marshall Wilson against T.J. Pugh. And Pugh knocked it away. Second time tonight he saved a basket, defending the fast break.
T.J. Pugh with a great defensive hustle, down and back. Got it slapped away, knocked it off a Georgia player, and Tigers get it back. Huh? How about that for a play? Good play.
Hustling play by T.J. Pugh, the junior out of Baton Rouge. Game still tied. Burns lobs to O'Neal. Great catch.
Goaltending. Tom, what makes it so difficult? You'd like to front the guy, but it's hard to do that because they lob over the top. And he's so big and he's got great hands that can catch it and just throw it down. Watch it again, backside now. Here it is, Georgia defenders in front, not letting him catch in the ball, forget it. He's going to get it off the glass.
O'Neal gives LSU the lead. LSU with a 2-point lead over Georgia, 26-24 at the 3:49 point of the first half.
Cat and dog fight.
Mascots mixing it up here as Pittsburgh has a 1-point lead over Syracuse in a battle of ranked teams. Louisville's been struggling and looking for a Metro win here at home against South Carolina. Sunbelt, UAB, VCU, 64 VCU, Virginia Commonwealth with the lead. We'll have all the scores for you halftime on our Budweiser scoreboard. This is the only SEC game in action tonight. Attempted lob is off the hoop, and
Georgia needs to work on their lobs. They've made one and missed one of their lobs so far.
Burns, good defense by Wilson. Now Burns is open for the 3, and he hits it.
Good ball movement, inside, outside.
Freshman Lear Burns, who was a redshirt last year and celebrates his birthday tomorrow, gets an early present with a 3-pointer. Laterro Green, lead-in shot is good. He has 6.
Well, that was a terrific move by Laterro Green. Go right across the lane and go straight up. He's got great, powerful legs and can drive. Really like the way he works, quick.
Terrell Green and Chris Jackson, the LSU All-American, were great high school rivals, and now that Jackson is playing in the NBA, Green in the spotlight. There's O'Neal. He got the ball down low, got the basket and a foul.
Tom, they didn't double down. Georgia tripled down. They had 3 players around him, and he still got the shot off. Watch it again, down inside. When you go inside to LSU and Shaquille O'Neal, you know they're going to be players around him. He looked for the pass, nobody open, put it off the glass and in.
O'Neal trying for the three-point trip and gets the good carom. He's hit 7 of 8 from the field today. He started off slowly against Kentucky in shooting from the field the other day, Saturday, but warmed up a little bit and is red hot tonight. Fumbled around by Harvey, who gets rid of it to Green. Short on that one. Harvey bats it to Wilson, and Georgia retains possession.
And they get a new 45-second shot clock. No pressure outside. O'Neal staying back close to the basket. Got a hold call, I think, on LSU.
I believe Singleton, which will be his second.
It's getting a little testy out there. A couple of guys getting very, very close. Vernell Singleton right there, I think, was getting ready to mix it up on the inside. Now, it might have been Reggie Tension there he was trying to get with.
Georgia's been whistled for only 4 fouls here in the first half. That was number 8 on LSU.
No, I was wrong. It was Lim Howard. He was trying to get involved with Lim Howard down there. They had a few words.
Howard steps to the line. Played at the University of Miami in Florida as a freshman. Misses the free throw. O'Neal with another rebound, and LSU controls, holding a 6-point lead.
Pressure now at midcourt. Cole picking up Pugh. Good screen. Burns didn't roll.
Pugh cut off by Harvey, but Hansen left open, hits the three.
That was Green's mistake. He let up, watching the play.
LSU's on a 9-2 run. There's a foul as Harvey is hammered by Burns and O'Neal.
Harvey just wanted to make sure that the foul was assigned to O'Neal. He was pointing to him when he got up off the floor. They could have picked a couple of guys. Let's go back, look at the previous play. Mike Hansen with a good shot. Actually, the two of Green got screened off and didn't get over there in time. You better get with that guy because he can shoot the three-point shot.
Second foul on Shaq O'Neal as LSU has built its largest lead. They are up by 9 as we go to the free throw line.
Second time in this first half now. O'Neal's gone to the bench. Dale Brown has taken him out to give him a little bit of a breather, and we've got 1:58 left to play.
And he doesn't want him to pick up that third foul here in the first half. Antonio Harvey. Free throws keeping Georgia in the game after some poor shooting by the Bulldogs from the field. Harvey's the transfer from Southern Illinois who sat out last year after moving into Athens, was Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year in his initial college campaign. That's a lane violation against LSU, and Harvey's going to get another shot.
Dale Brown overseeing something to the inside. I think Gert Hammock was the one who violated the lane. Hands up, he says. Everybody gets him up.
And given new life, Harvey banks it in off the front of the rim. Antonio Harvey, 4 points off the Georgia bench. He's averaged about 6 rebounds his last 5 games. Have been doing a good job. He'll get a rest as Georgia has cut the lead now back to 7.
Well, look at Pugh handle that ball. Got it to the right man.
Hansen, who has it rim out on him, and the rebound comes down to Georgia's Reggie Tinch. Green with a bad pass picked off by T.J. Pugh.
Bad idea. Really didn't have any kind of opening.
Minute 30 left in the first half. Hammock, turnaround jumper short, and batted out of bounds by Hammock. It'll go to Georgia. Dale Brown's team leading most of the half here, enjoying their biggest advantage a moment ago at 9 points.
Georgia, I think Georgia's really fortunate to be as close as they are.
Shooting as poorly as they are.
Of course, LSU's been turning the ball over to them and giving them a lot of chances. They're going to pull it out now, a little more half-court game. Spread the floor. Good screen for Green, good roll.
Pugh's done a good job on Laterro Green so far. Marshall Wilson, a brick. He was wide open and didn't even draw iron.
There's a whole stone wall.
LSU into front court under the 1-minute mark. There's a quick hand steal by Tinch, but it's out of bounds and back to the Tigers with 50 seconds left.
You can see why he leads the club with steals. He's got 26 steals so far this year, at least coming into this game. Quick hands for a guy his size.
And that's 3rd in the SEC. Hammock is going to go out, and coming in for the Tigers, Boudreaux and Griggs. About 16-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here for the first half.
A little bit of a delay game now for the Tigers. Spread it out, make Georgia play a little bit of defense. They'll get it back unless LSU shoots, misses, and gets the rebound. Under 10.
See the shot clock, and there's a whistle and a
what
foul.
A bad
Wow.
time for a foul. Under 10 seconds.
That's not a play that you want a senior to make, as Marshall Wilson commits a foul when LSU was going to be desperate to get a shot before the time expired.
Well, it's all right. You know, they're not in the bonus. They're not shooting, but it gives them the possession back again.
Now they can take the final shot of the half, should they so desire. Griggs, nice feed.
Good offensive work by the Tigers that time.
See the time remaining in the half as Green puts it up. No good. Again, didn't draw iron. Out of bounds, though, off the hand of Burns, and Georgia will get a final chance with 4 ticks left.
Green was mildly complaining that he was hit on the elbow when he went up.
Boudreau jockeying for position with Bennett, and Clougherty warns him again.
John's doing more adjudicating tonight than he is refereeing.
And here is a foul called on LSU as Laterro Green collides with the defender, and Dale Brown is not happy with that call as his man Pugh went to the floor, and to add insult to injury is whistled for his 3rd foul.
Top of the lane, let's take a look at it again. Dale Brown really upset with this call. Green trying to get around the outside. The official in his mind felt like Green was being held as he was trying to get over the screen.
So 3 fouls on the Tiger playmaker TJ Pugh. Also the 10th foul this half against LSU. So Laterro Green will have 2 free throws, and Dale Brown still steaming. It rimmed out.
You got to make those free ones.
The normally dead-eye Laterro Green is now only 1 of 3 at the line. Does get the second one. Laterro Green not having a good game in the first half, only 2 of 8 shooting, and held to only 7 points. 1 second left. Boudreau lets it fly. No good off the front of the rim. So the LSU Tigers behind 16 first half points by their big man Shaquille O'Neal will go to the locker room with the halftime lead. Right now, if the halftime score continues to point the way, it'll be LSU that'll come out a winner. They're unbeaten when leading at halftime.
Georgia gets the ball to start the second half. LSU right back in their man-to-man.
Bulldogs open with their original starting 5: Wilson, Bennett, Austin, Green, and Cole. Turnaround jump shot, no good by Bennett. Fight for the rebound and out of bounds to LSU.
Austin really made a pretty good play, and O'Neal kind of slapped it off his hand. Good pressure again by Georgia.
LSU has its starting 5 intact: Griggs, Singleton, O'Neal, Hansen, and Pugh. Mike Hansen off the pressure lays it in as they beat the Georgia defense for an easy one.
Georgia again showing patience on this outside half-court game. They're not pressing the matter. They're not rushing the ball down the floor. They want to take their time and take a look at some good shots.
Hansen's in double figures for the 6th straight game as Griggs goes for the steal, instead gets his 2nd foul, first against either team in the second half.
Griggs with another attempted, one of many steals he's had this year.
LSU with the largest lead of the game. First time we've hit double digits. The Tigers up 10.
LSU not putting very much pressure really on the wing or on the ball. Georgia being allowed to run their half-court game. O'Neal is not going to leave that basket.
Rod Cole missed badly, but saved by Wilson. Nice fake. He goes up and draws the foul. Couldn't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line looking for his first points of the night.
And Griggs fouled again. That's 2 in about a 15-second period.
And 3 for the game on Sean Griggs, the starting Tiger forward.
I think Griggs got frustrated. What happened was Wilson reached over the top of him, and without fouling him, reached around him and grabbed a rebound and turned around, tried to stick it in. Griggs got him all over the arm.
Marshall Wilson, the senior out of Livonia, who averages 12 a game. gets his first point. He had 22 points against Tennessee over the weekend. Been battling the flu and had some subpar games. In fact, he had been shooting only 3 for 20 in the 2 games before breaking out of that slump against the Volunteers. That's the lead back to 8.
Good idea by Griggs. Nowhere to go.
Singleton.
Oh, look at that. O'Neal almost tipped it in, and Griggs was right with him.
Austin finally gets the rebound. Quickly to Marshall Wilson over Pugh. A charging foul. Wilson is 6'8" with little 6-foot TJ Pugh in front of him. Larry should have just pulled up and shot a 2-foot jumper.
Yeah, he could have. Wilson took it in and tried to go right up over the top of Pugh. Pugh with good defensive work here. Watch the footwork. Good position. Wilson ran right over him.
All he has to do is go straight up with an 8-inch height advantage. Austin almost had the steal. Reach in foul, Rod Cole. That'll be his first. Number 2 against the Bulldogs in the second half.
Georgia doing a pretty good job with their press. They're causing LSU some problems, as evidenced by the fact that they had 13 turnovers in the first half.
O'Neal, around 3 defenders, draws the foul.
Pick a red jersey.
They had 3 of them around him. They collapsed on him and still couldn't stop him. He'll go to the free throw line. Bennett with number 1.
What's the one thing you want to do when you're LSU on offense? Get the ball to O'Neal. If you can't do that, at least when they come in and converge on him, he turns around, he'll find somebody open. He did a nice job at Kentucky, I thought, the other day, finding the open man when they did drop down.
O'Neal, who won't be 19 years old until March 6th. It's frightening to think that his vertical leap is now 35 inches. That's 3 feet off the floor, and he's already 7'1".
Go up and wipe out the shot clock.
Wilson with a step on Griggs. Nice fake, then missed the shot. Knocked out of bounds by Griggs. Georgia's ball.
John Griggs with good hustle that time. I think he was trying to avoid that 4th foul because Wilson took him one-on-one to that baseline. He wanted no part of another foul.
Played almost 2 minutes of the second half. LSU holding a 10-point lead. Wilson's open for the 3, and that one goes. They need Wilson scoring. He has 5 points in the second half.
And a tough shot. Griggs was there. Pressure again by Georgia. There's the pressure release valve. Throw it up. Let O'Neal bring it up.
Thought about dribbling it up the court, but Pugh said, let me have it back.
LSU working the perimeter right now. Look for the guy inside. Hansen open from the outside.
O'Neal with a little soft tap that won't roll through, and Georgia has it. Then a jump ball called as O'Neal ties up Bennett. Possession arrow favoring the Tigers.
Orlando Bennett went down inside. The ball just barely got by O'Neal, who almost tipped this one in. There's the tip. He just missed it. Bennett with a good, strong rebound. Got it slapped away, and O'Neal was right there, ever present, grabbing the ball. About the right side of Orlando Bennett's arm.
LSU on the alternate possession. Gets the basketball. Tigers by 7. Lanier Burns on the floor for LSU. There's a bad pass picked off by Laterro Green against Hansen. Green is fouled, and he got it through.
Well, he's 1 for 3 on layups with people trailing him now. That time Hansen just couldn't get there quick enough. Laterro Green with a good layup, and actually started at the bottom of the net and rolled all the way up. What happened there, Singleton turned his back and never saw the pass coming. Watch Green coming right down inside. Hansen committing the foul from the backside. There it is. This ball started underneath and actually rolled up over the rim.
Green has hit only 3 of 9 from the field tonight, but converts that 3-point play. He has 10 now in the game. He's averaged 27 points the last 7 games for the Bulldogs.
Georgia keeping that pressure on, Tom.
LSU in the front court, knocked away from O'Neal. Good defense by Orlando Bennett.
Well, Bennett that time really positioned himself in the right way. If you're going to come in from the angle, make sure you're out over the top on the side. You get a little bit of help from your friends if they make the lob.
Bulldogs hanging tough against LSU.
You got to have that backside help against O'Neal. You just cannot do this by yourself. Singleton trying to enter the ball. Now they go to the wing and try to enter it.
Bennett slap away. Bennett fronting him, knocked it away. Larry, you called it. He went to the front, knocked the ball away, and they kept the ball out of O'Neal's hands. Bulldogs on a run. That 3 rims out. Bennett's follow, no good. Strong rebound by O'Neal, who lost it, slapped it on the floor, and it hit the bottom of the basket support, and Georgia gets a break.
Pretty good effort by the Dogs that time to come in there and show a little offensive rebounding punch. You know, this is a team that doesn't have a rebounder in the top 23 in the conference standings.
Rod Cole faced O'Neal, took the shot, and O'Neal gathers the rebound.
Almost threw it into the back of the head of Boudreaux.
O'Neal, a little far away from the basket, and missed the shot badly. Wilson clears it to Cole. Green driving against Pugh, pulls up with a jump shot, no good. Offensive board, Wilson lost it. Who's got it? Georgia's ball as he hit the basket support again.
No one seems to want to handle the basketball down underneath. A lot of loose balls down there. It's always a good sign, Tom, of a team that can reach down and come up with loose balls. We don't need another stat in basketball. Let's don't start another one. But I will tell you that guys who reach in and grab basketballs, get those loose ones, it's important.
Laterro Green misses a wide open jumper. He's struggling from the field tonight. Singleton has it for the Tigers.
When Green struggles from the outside, Georgia struggles.
Singleton works his way to the hoop and is fouled by Neville Austin. Dale Brown wanted a goaltending call as well, but John Clarkerty waves that off and says, no, it's the foul, number 1 on Austin.
Dale was doing his best salesmanship routine over there, though. He thought he had some people convinced, but not John Clarkerty.
He's had a good winning record against the Bulldogs, though he was swept last year. You know, in that game in Baton Rouge, which Georgia miraculously pulled off, Laterro Green didn't make the trip. He was ill or injured, as I recall. He did have 17 points in the rematch in Athens, which the Bulldogs also won.
Singleton with a little Band-Aid on the left shoulder. He ought to have a Band-Aid over his lip after what Hansen did to him the other night. He's got something like, what, 5 stitches on the outside and 5 on the inside.
Sporting the stitches after Reggie Hansen got him with an elbow. Free throws push the lead to 43-37. We'll return to Baton Rouge in a moment. Well, field goal shooting has gotten worse, if that's possible, for Georgia.
Look how much it's dropped off for LSU.
43-37, the Tigers. They've led all but a couple of brief moments in the first half.
Georgia continues this very slow pace. A half-court game, a lot of screens, trying to pop somebody loose on the baseline.
Cole dishes it inside to Bennett. Oh, he lofted it up and over Shaquille O'Neal. Orlando Bennett's 4th point.
I think maybe he might have touched that ball just a little bit, too.
Trap in backcourt by Georgia. Singleton trying to dribble out of it.
Tom, I think it's good philosophy right here by Hugh Durham. Make sure you pressure LSU. You know they're a little thin on the bench. It could pay dividends later on.
O'Neal triple team, knocked it away momentarily, but a foul reaching in. Lem Howard of Georgia.
Let's go back and watch how you shoot over the Sears Tower. Down inside, good pass, good roll by Bennett. Now watch O'Neal, good defensive position. He just got it right up over the top of Shaquille O'Neal.
Arched it so high it went out of the shot, out of the picture. Here's O'Neal, driving to the hoop. It won't count. Charging foul on O'Neal. That's his 3rd.
Well, I will say this, he took it to the basket with emphasis. How many guys would stand there and take a charging foul against a runaway truck?
3rd foul on O'Neal. Dale Brown leaves him in the game. And that's the foul situation so far this half, with 14:55 and counting.
Straight for Green. Good roll.
Posting up low. Bennett fakes O'Neal, and then O'Neal still blocked it. 2-on-1 Tigers. Lost by Griggs. Singleton got it, and a foul.
That was a fortuitous series of events for LSU. They were fortunate to get that one down. Watch it again. Going to the one side of the floor where they get the good defensive play by O'Neal here with 3 fouls. He still goes up and blocks it. Good trigger out pass. Go to the outside. Now watch Singleton come up with this after Griggs has it slapped away. A good reverse layup to the other side, and he draws the foul and the 3-point chance.
Vernell Singleton converts the 3-point play. He has 9 points in this game, and the LSU lead to 7. Steal by Griggs after a careless pass, and Griggs can't convert. Here's Singleton again, making a move, and is fouled by Howard. Shot won't count. Lem Howard commits his 2nd foul.
Well, LSU's press having some effect against Georgia now. Turnover by the Bulldogs, and LSU will get the ball back. That was the 7th team foul against Georgia.
So 1+1 at the line for Vernell Singleton, who hit 2 there a moment ago and has 3 for 3 in this half.
Well, they got to that 7 in a hurry.
Hugh Durham's team already with 17 fouls in the first 5.5 minutes of play.
It's a good player right here, Tom. I've talked about him a lot on Saturday, I know, but I got to tell you what, I really like the way he plays. He does a little bit of everything for Dale Brown.
Started at center for the Tigers a couple of years ago. Georgia misses in close, and Pugh comes the other way. Singleton, jump stop, missed the shot badly. Batted around and out of bounds. Which way? LSU.
Missed opportunity down inside for the Bulldogs. LSU building out to that 8-point lead again. Georgia had really gotten it down, and now LSU making a run.
Georgia with some narrow losses all season long. O'Neal fakes, turns, and draws the foul. That foul will be on Bennett, and that's number 3. He's the first Bulldog in foul trouble.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Georgia really has lost a lot of close basketball games. That double overtime loss to Georgia Tech, the overtime loss to Vanderbilt, 1-point loss to Kentucky.
Yeah, the loss to Vandy on the road was in overtime, I think, as Grant hit the 3-pointer, the first of his career. It was triple overtime, wasn't it, against Tech, and had a chance to defeat Kentucky the other night. Couldn't quite pull it off.
Turned it a little bit around on Saturday, though, with a good... I asked him, I said, how'd you play on Saturday? He said, we played pretty well.
Shaq O'Neal misses at the free throw line, where he is now 4 of 6.
You know, Tom, with Georgia's 8th team foul, you'd think that would be a big advantage for LSU, but they're not a very good free throw shooting team.
That was how Georgia pulled it off last year in that overtime upset here. They put LSU on the free throw line. The Tigers couldn't convert. Shaq O'Neal, by the way, tonight has hit 7 of his 10 shots from the field. Howard's open for that jumper. It's short. Batted to Singleton. O'Neal batted it. Here's Griggs running the floor. Dishes it back to Pugh. His shot is blocked. And there's a foul. Lem Howard knocking Griggs to the floor, and Howard has his 3rd. Griggs at the free throw line for the first time tonight. He's about a 65% shooter normally. Sophomore out of Faraday, Louisiana.
Are we witnessing deja vu here?
Could be. LSU as a team 7th in the conference, 66.1% from the line, as Griggs misses 2. They'll have 2 shots now the rest of the game, because that was the 9th foul on Georgia. But if they can't hit them, it's moot, because Georgia's going to put them on the line.
They've got enough players they can reach down on that bench and get some more guys who will give fouls.
Long 3 by Green, not a good shot, out of bounds to LSU. That was a good 2 or 3 feet behind the 3-point arc.
Well, Hugh Durham's complaining to the officials. And Laterral Green is too. He's saying, I got hit on the elbow. I'll tell you what, if he didn't get hit, it was a poor shot.
Burns spells Griggs for the Tigers. And Marshall Wilson returns for Georgia. Howard's out.
Georgia's press coming right back again. Safety valve's not down there, so Pugh's going to bring it up.
LSU cutting down the turnovers in the second half. Get it inside to O'Neal, automatic when he gets it inside in that position. His first field goal of the second half. LSU with its largest lead. Cut by 3 on that tray by Wilson.
Pressure again by Georgia. Singleton having trouble getting it in. There he comes. Shaquille O'Neal comes back to help. That's what you're supposed to do. Don't leave your guy, your teammate in trouble. Come back to the ball.
Second foul on Rod Cole. And we'll go to the LSU line for 2.
I'm wondering if this is a planned strategy by Hugh Durham. Just willing to stick enough players out there and commit enough fouls. Send LSU to the line, and with each missed free throw, the pressure continues to build.
Somewhat the same blueprint as he used last year to pull off the upset in Baton Rouge. There's that bench, which has been productive for him tonight. He's got more bodies than Dale Brown has. Singleton has been a good free throw shooter tonight, though, as he continues that string.
There you go. Just walk up there and drop it down and hit the net.
He's 5 of 6 at the line. Twice All-State in Mississippi. And LSU leads 52-42. Penetration by Green. Missed the shot. That time he was fouled. Vernell Singleton, number 3.
Green gets that ball on the wing or on the baseline. He has such a quick first step. Whether he comes from the side or he comes from that baseline, he really gets into the lane quickly, and he elevates so quickly.
Terrell Green made the coach's All-SEC team a year ago. Was also on the All-SEC freshman team, but Larry only hitting 3 of 12 in this game so far.
Had a big 38 against Kentucky the other day, a career high. There's Hugh Durham working on the officials.
Green does have 10 rebounds in this game. 2 free throws give him a total of 12 points and cut the lead to 8. Burns lost it.
Oh, he was really lucky. Wilson got in position to make the steal over there, and Burns never had control of it, and it went right off of Wilson's knee.
12.5 minutes left in this SEC game. LSU 8-3, Georgia 8-4. Sean Golden replaces Rod Cole.
Pressure again by Georgia.
Hansen looking inside for O'Neal.
Tom, they're really tough on the ball and really denying the pass on the outside, but they go inside.
And O'Neal gets the roll. 23 for Shaquille O'Neal. Again, a 10-point lead. Jump hook is a beauty. Antonio Harvey took it right to Shaquille O'Neal. That's a shot O'Neal could use in his repertoire.
Yeah, he could, but O'Neal backed off, gave him an awful lot of room.
O'Neal, remember, playing with 3 fouls. Burns makes the fake, can't get the shot away. Wilson with a good recovery defensively.
And a good decision that time by Burns to give it back to Hansen and reset the offense.
Inside O'Neal. Seen this before?
Same result. Nobody to help. Nobody's there.
Golden bounces it into Wilson.
Everybody just ran off and left. Golden was screaming for anybody to come.
Marshall Wilson drives on Burns. O'Neal blocked it. Everybody just froze, and finally Pugh went in to get it.
You know, Wilson had Harvey wide open on the baseline, didn't give it to him. O'Neal came to him and opened it up for him for a shot down there. Didn't get him the ball.
3rd block of the day for O'Neal.
Back inside again.
Georgia gets some help defensively that time as Tinch came over to help out.
Dale Brown can't believe he didn't have a foul called against one Georgia player because O'Neal felt like he was being held.
LSU up 10, 56-46 with 11:02 left in the game. Syracuse losing for the first time the other day. Pittsburgh aired it out on the Orangemen late to win it 93-79 over the third-ranked team.
That's a blowout right there. Let's take a look at Maryland in the ACC with no problems with Maryland, Baltimore County. Keeping it in the state.
Stepping out of the conference with an easy win for the Terrapins. Georgia continues to struggle from the field, just 31% for the game. LSU hitting 52%, 21 of 40.
That's because they're going inside to the big guy.
LSU out rebounding Georgia 31-24. And you mentioned the big guy. LSU outscoring Georgia in the paint 34-14.
Harvey doing a better job in there fronting O'Neal that trip. Under 5 seconds.
O'Neal turnaround, flips it up, no good. Didn't hit anything, and good defense by Georgia that time gives the Bulldogs a chance to cut into that 10-point deficit.
Tom, if Georgia's going to get back in this game, they need to run right now. Forget it. Don't bring that in here.
Rejection number 4 of the game for O'Neal.
John Golden, you got to think better of it. The big guy is standing there waiting on you. Look at Harvey outside. We got a foul here. Something's happened.
Away from the basketball, John Clougherty blew his whistle and then rushed to the scorer's table. I'm not sure what he said. Correcting something, but I don't know what.
Probably had something to do with the block shot.
The resetting of the shot clock?
Yes.
Jody Patton handles the ball for the Bulldogs. They've got Golden and Patton at the guards now, as both Green and Cole are on the bench.
LSU putting good pressure on the basketball. The only one who's not putting pressure on the ball is Shaquille O'Neal with 3 fouls.
Marshall Wilson's 3, no good. That was O'Neal that batted it out of bounds, keeping it out of the hands of Antonio Harvey.
Boy, was he up in the air. I'll tell you what, if I was in the third row in the Assembly Center here, I'd be a little concerned for my life.
Harvey can't hit, and Singleton clears it. Now less than 10 minutes remaining. And LSU up by 10. Pass intended for O'Neal hit the basket instead. Marshall Wilson has it for Georgia.
And Tom, that was caused because a Georgia player was in front of Shaquille O'Neal.
17 turnovers against the Tigers. That's a foul that won't count because Golden was fouled that time by LSU. Hansen, his second.
You know what, Shaquille O'Neal just bent over and said something to Mike Hansen. I'll bet you I know what he said. He said, look, if he's on that baseline that close to the basket, don't foul him. I'm right behind you.
There's O'Neal, the giant eraser on the LSU defense. He erases those mistakes made by his teammates.
Boy, it really helps to have a guy like that in the middle. You can take chances. Defensively, you can go out, put pressure, and know that he's there.
Sean Golden hits the free throw. That's his first point of the game. Golden, the former Prep All-America out of Taylor, South Carolina. Played a lot in his freshman season a year ago.
A little bit disappointing from the field. Has not shot the ball as well as they thought he was going to.
Only 38% field goal percentage. 56-47, the LSU lead.
Good pressure by Golden on Pugh. Illegal screen? Yeah, it is.
That's on Burns, his first. Now 17 fouls against LSU as the Tigers of Dale Brown record their 18th turnover. We'll shoot 1+1 at the Georgia line now.
You know, Tom, when you set those screens, you've got to make sure that you're solid, standing still. Don't raise an arm. Don't use a hip. Stand still and let the guy rub off on you. Burns couldn't do that. He got a little anxious, moved those feet, got the illegal pick.
Marshall Wilson has hit all 3 of his free throw attempts tonight. Held scoreless at the half, but now shooting for double figures.
You see the elbow of the arm come out just a little bit. That's what caused the problem and gave Georgia 2 more points.
Dale Brown's angry about something. It'll stay the same, though. 2 points for the Bulldogs on the Wilson free throws, and LSU comes up court against the pressure, leading by 7.
Georgia with a little bit more pressure now. They're extending the pressure out to beyond midcourt. Here's the lob.
Great pass. Pugh to O'Neal.
Pugh did it again. He did it in the first half. He did it in the second.
27 points in the game for Shaquille O'Neal.
Traveling on Wilson.
Good defense by LSU. TJ Pugh, 6 assists as he gets O'Neal here.
And watch this beauty. Good turn, good look. Tom, they used a little signal there. I don't know what the signal is, but O'Neal will give it to Pugh to let him know he's going to wheel to that basket and go. Pugh just delivers it right up near the rim.
9-point Tiger lead, and LSU has the basketball with 8:45 now on the clock. There's a steal as Wilson comes away with it.
You got to pick and choose your time to do that. Harvey with a nice little soft shot over Pugh.
Georgia handled it well that time. Harvey has 8 points off the Bulldog bench. 7-point game. Pugh shot blocked by Harvey. Here's Golden in a foot race with Hansen. Golden to the hoop, laid it up. Good.
Georgia making a run.
Bulldogs within 5, and now LSU starts to slow the pace. They like that half-court game so they can get it to their big guy like this. O'Neal turns, missed the shot, got his own rebound, and is hacked on the arm. Harvey, number 3. Told you Antonio Harvey's brother Richard, who is a New England Patriot linebacker, is in the crowd tonight, and he brought along a teammate, Tommy Hodson, who's the Southeastern Conference all-time leading passer. Of course, played at LSU and just completed his rookie year in the NFL.
You know, when O'Neal gets the basketball in there, trying to get the ball away from him, it's like taking the ball out of a vice. He's got such big hands, such strong hands. You just can't get it away from him. The only thing you can do is just reach in and grab his arm.
Free throw is good. I said the foul was on Harvey. It was actually whistled against Marshall Wilson. So the third on Wilson as Harvey goes to the bench.
Young man's got a great professional future. Says he's going to stay 2 more years, though. He's not going to go.
You know, he's a good student, too, a 3-point student. Has the highest grade point average on the LSU team.
Georgia within 7. Making a little bit of a mini run here. Got Jody Patton in there, who's the good 3-point shooter. He can get him back in this game very quickly.
Been in a little slump lately, though, has Patton. 1 point, he was hitting well over 50% of his threes. Golden penetrates. O'Neal, 5th block shot.
You've always got to be aware of where this man is on the floor. Watch O'Neal. Golden says, I can handle it. No, you can't, son. Keep it out of there. This guy is too big and too strong.
Georgia poised for one final run. LSU leads by 7, 7:46 on the clock. Bulldogs continuing to struggle from the field.
Tom, I asked John Clockerty about, as we look at the field goal percentage, about what happened earlier. What he said was that the coach, Dale Brown, was complaining that they had the wrong shooter at the free throw line. He was right, but the officials have got to make the decision based on what they know at the time. They did not know that it was the wrong shooter, therefore they go ahead and allow the points.
Wilson shot way off the mark, and Patton's over the back to foul. So a bad possession for the Bulldogs, who get an air ball shot and a rebounding foul just when they were trying to cut into the LSU lead.
Maybe a wrong time, but when you start thinking about sending LSU to the line right now, you're going to start sending the guys up there. If Pugh is one of the guys that goes up there that's not a very good free throw shooter.
61%. Hasn't scored tonight, although he does have 6 assists and 3 steals and 4 rebounds.
2 beauties, too.
You call that one, Larry, as he bounces it off the rim. Thought I heard a clank.
TJ got a new haircut.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Boy, he knocked that one down. Nice backspin. Good follow through.
Georgia beats the press. They've got a 2-on-1 and
decide not to take advantage. Yeah.
They trail by 8.
LSU stayed with their man-to-man. They really haven't deviated much at all from that. The pacing defense. Georgia having a hard time inside.
Don't forget, we'll be picking a BP Most Valuable Player from each team, and BP and its dealers will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of both schools. That'll come up at the end of the game. Golden gets away from Hansen for a moment, and then it's stolen away by Griggs. Griggs, all the way, is fouled by Tinch of Georgia.
Even though the foul was committed by Tinch, I've got to tell you that he made a tremendous play just to catch up with Griggs. He's in a dead sprint right here. Look, watch Griggs trying to handle that basketball with that bad thumb that's taped. Look out, cameraman. You're going to get it. Ooh. It's got to be a foul against the cameraman. We got to give Griggs one on that.
With 6:48 left in the game, Hugh Durham has come back with his stars. Cole and Green trying to make one final run at this LSU team, which has led virtually the entire game. Georgia had a very brief 2-point advantage in the first half. Here are the numbers on Sean Griggs. He'd been 0 for 2 at the line before that one. That one true to form, and then slapped right into the hands of Laterro Green. 62-53, LSU leading. Cole goes inside. Blocked by O'Neal. Why is the question there?
Oh, he did it again.
O'Neal will try it on the other end. Can't get it. He's over the back. Got away with it. Cole comes the other way for the Bulldogs.
Good move inside by Green. Great pass. Oh, look at the block by O'Neal.
O'Neal blocked it again. Outlet to Hansen. His
Look at the behind-the-back pass. They loving it by you country. Oh, what a great pass by Hansen. The crowd got excited over that.
Here's Latero Green. He's got to score if Georgia's going to get back into it, and they fumble it out of bounds.
Durham's getting close to a technical. Let's go back and watch underneath. Watch the great pass, but watch the block by O'Neal. Once he gets it, the trigger out, the good pass. Hansen catches up behind the back and goes right there. Griggs catches it and slams it. It's a great play.
Timeout, Georgia. LSU on a roll. LSU Tigers have equaled their biggest lead of the game, 64-53. Clock shows 5:48. Points in the paint heavily in favor of the Tigers. And the reason, Shaquille O'Neal, he has 29 points.
It's the big Tiger. He's bigger than Mike, the guy out in the cage.
Well, I bet about the only way you could stop Big Shaquille is put him in a cage. That name, by the way, in Arabic means little warrior.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a desert shield, but he's the shield here.
Vernell Singleton with a push has committed his fourth foul.
Oh, Brown with a pained look on his face over there. Nice gesture. Crowd had thrown a couple of things on the floor, and he just asked them not to do that. You end up hurting your own players. You don't want to do that. Crowd control.
I believe it was one of the games here last year. I believe it might have been the Georgia game that the Bulldogs won, where they had to stop play a couple of times and the floor was peppered with debris. Big miss at the line by Rod Cole, out of bounds to LSU.
Pretty good effort by Jody Patton on the inside to even get the ball away from Shaquille O'Neal.
Rod Cole and Latero Green had been averaging over 50 points a game the last two. There's a Georgia steal.
Good pressure. Georgia again.
Harvey shot no good. They let him have it. He couldn't hit it. And a reach-in foul on the Bulldogs. Tinch, number 3. Or is it Cole? It's on Cole, and that's his third. I was going to say, Larry, that Rod Cole and Latero Green, averaging 50.5 points combined the last two games, held to only 14 tonight. Back after a word from your local station. 5:18 left. LSU holds the upper hand. As we started the telecast, we told you LSU with Shaq O'Neal had the inside strength. He has responded with 29 points tonight, which is right on his average. We told you that Georgia had the perimeter scorers in Cole and Green. Cole and Green a combined 4 of 19 shooting from the field tonight, as Griggs hits the free throw to give LSU its largest lead of the game.
Well, we talked about whichever side was going to dominate, the outside game of Georgia or the inside game of LSU, and right now with that 12-point lead, it should be fairly obvious what has dominated.
Harvey against O'Neal, saved by Griggs, but out of bounds. Well, they keep going to Harvey, who's trying to work on O'Neal, who has 3 personal fouls, but O'Neal has played it pretty chilly. He's waited to make his move and has collected 7 blocked shots, and Georgia's gone 2.5 minutes without scoring a point. Patton's three-pointer rims out. O'Neal with another rebound. How many rebounds for him now? 12 rebounds for Shaq O'Neal to go with his 29 points.
So now he brings it up and hands it to Pugh. He's got so much ability.
You were saying in the timeout, you feel like you're talking about him so much, but how can you help?
And another field goal inside.
31 for O'Neal. 31 points, 12 boards.
Those good high percentage shots. Those 6 inches.
Latero Green has been missing in action tonight. And a rebounding foul. Harvey of Georgia.
so hard to fight around him, Tom, to try to get a rebound. It takes you about 3 days just to get around to the front side of him if you even want to work to get up to one. Hugh Durham very frustrated right now with the way his club is playing. Down 14.
Terrell Green, the second leading scorer in the conference, held at 12 points, half his average. Rod Cole, averaging 11 a game, has 2. Well, Neal's done well at the free throw line tonight. There's Laterrell Green, who's suffering through a subpar performance.
I tell you, when he puts his hands around the basketball to shoot it, you can barely see half of the basketball on the other side.
Already the second leading field goal shooter for career in LSU history. He's 11 of 16 from the field tonight and is 9 of 10 at the line. 9 of 11, excuse me.
And with a three-point field goal on the far side.
Hatton finally gets the three-point shot working. His first three-pointer of the game. He has 7 off the Georgia bench.
Good pressure now by Georgia. They need some turnovers. They've got to get the ball away from LSU if they've got any kind of chance to get back in this game.
Just 4 minutes left.
LSU will continue to look inside. Didn't hurt to run a little bit of clock now either. Watch the 5-second count.
LSU trying to salt it away. Blindside steal by Tinch. Tinch against Pugh, lays it up, no good. Tap no good by Cole, and rebounded by Griggs of LSU.
2 missed opportunities for the Dogs. And they're going to pull it out. Dale Brown wants to run some clock.
Singleton has it knocked away by Cole, and last touch they say by O'Neal. Georgia gets it.
Georgia quickly up the floor. Nice pass inside. Left-handed, missed it.
Harvey intimidated a little bit, couldn't hit it, and out of bounds. It'll go LSU's way. LSU's turned the ball over 22 times to 13 for Georgia, but Georgia unable to take advantage of it.
Well, they've missed a couple of easy ones right there, back-to-back, each trip down the floor.
Hansen dribbles out of the trap. Collision, but no call. And Tigers into front court. Hansen traveled as he made his move around Patton.
Yeah, Patton came at him. Was going to try to steal the ball. Hansen just picked it up that one extra step. John Clotterty with the call.
Mike Hansen out of Madrid, Spain. He began his college career at Tennessee Martin. Caught the eye of Dale Brown when he scored 40 points against the Tigers back in '88. Green's three-pointer is good.
Back to within 10.
Less than 3 minutes on the clock.
Tom, I think LSU is going to get into a situation where all they've got to do is make their free throws, and if they do, they'll win this basketball game. Georgia's going to come after them, and just anytime they can get close to someone who they think is not a good free throw shooter, like Pugh. Good ball movement by the Tigers. Keep it moving. Don't let it stick. Cole tried to get a foul. He got it.
A little late, wasting some precious seconds, but a foul nevertheless. Rod Cole, who had 19 points, a career high against Kentucky, held to only 2 tonight. Pugh hits the free throw. Howard replacing Tinch.
That's the way you do it. You just walk up and knock them down. Say, I'll take your fouls.
Harvey inside against O'Neal. And Singleton coming over to help out. I don't know why they thought O'Neal needed any help. But he comes out over to help and commits his 5th personal foul.
A little disagreement here.
Green and Pugh going at it. Larry, the penalties for fighting are very severe this season now.
And Dale Brown realizes that. He's going to take a timeout, cool his club down.
First ejection for fighting gets you a 1-game suspension. The second incident gets you disqualified for the remainder of the season.
Good idea by Dale Brown. Get his club over there and sit them down.
So Dale Brown takes a timeout with the lead in Baton Rouge.
SEC basketball has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Delta, the airline of SEC country. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
From the Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge, Tom Hammond and Larry Conley with our producer Roger Roebuck, Dave Burchett, our director. Gil Heron on graphics tonight. 71-59 LSU with the lead, 2:18 left. It's been a long night for the Bulldog faithful as Georgia had only a brief 2-point lead in the first half. LSU has been in command of the game behind the bulky, talented frame of 7-footer Shaquille O'Neal.
Big shoulders to carry this LSU team on, but he's very capable of doing that.
Here's what happened on that last flurry of pushes and taunts and disagreements.
Be a lot of people involved in it right there. Lim Howard was one. Material Green got into it. I think he and Pugh were having a few words.
Some frustration on the part of Laterrell Green, no doubt. 15 points for him tonight. Vernell Singleton is fouled out with 12 points and 7 rebounds. He did a little bit of everything tonight. 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 block shots. So Vernell Singleton with a typically fine performance, one of the unsung heroes of this LSU team.
Not just one of those players that you know is going to step up and play every night for you. I really like him. I like the way he plays because he does so much for you. If you need scoring, he'll give you scoring. You need defense, he'll give you defense. You need rebounding, he'll give you rebounding. We got a technical foul here.
Well, on that scuffle, evidently a technical was called, and that's Lem Howard at the Georgia free throw line.
They're calling it an intentional foul now. So I guess Singleton, who fouled out of this game, committed that intentional foul against Lem Howard.
So Georgia will get the 2 free throws, which are good by Howard, and they will now get the basketball. Well, still time for one final push for the Bulldogs to trail by 10.
They need a tray right here.
Harvey over O'Neal. Forced him to take a errant shot and then jump ball as O'Neal blocks again and ties up Rod Cole. The possession arrow, however, will give the ball back to the Dogs. There it is.
Tom, I hate to be redundant, but you got to quit taking the ball inside against this guy. That's what you need right there. Green hitting from the outside.
But he had a foot on the line. It's only a 2. Foul Rod Cole of Georgia. That's his 5th. So Rod Cole with a frustrating evening, fouls out of the game with 2:04 remaining and only 2 points to his credit. Cole, the man that hit the 3 free throws with 3 seconds left here last year to put the game into overtime.
And I might say that the coaches have 30 seconds to get a player in, not 1 minute. 30 seconds.
This is the time that the coaches this season, I think Rick Pitino might have started it, have taken to huddling their team over in front of the bench while they decide who to send into the game, getting kind of a free timeout. Durham has decided on Marshall Wilson.
But you got to understand, too, that 30 seconds does not begin until the official goes over to announce to the head coach, you have 30 seconds, coach. The player has fouled out. He has 5, and they begin the clock. In fact, the timekeeper is keeping it right now. You can see right there, he's looking at it.
In the Georgia Tech game, Coach Hugh Durham used some judicious timeouts and delays to ice the Tech shooter on occasion.
It's a pretty good move right there. He's going to stick Wilson back in the game. Now he's going to call a timeout.
So he calls his 2nd of 3 timeouts allotted in the game. It comes at the 2:04 mark. The Tigers lead 71-63. We'll be back after a word from Pepsi. Here's the way the game has gone so far at the free throw line. Georgia slightly out shooting LSU. 1 timeout remaining for each team. The possession arrow favors LSU. Hansen steps to the line for the first time tonight and collects point number 11.
He's a guy that can shoot free throws.
He is a 94% free throw shooter. I wonder if the national coach from Spain has been impressed enough to include him on the Spanish national team for the '92 Olympics.
Screen out top. Green's going to try to go inside.
Got away from O'Neal to lay it in. Laterrell Green. now with 19 points. O'Neal will get an easy one. He watched it bounce around.
He was looking up through the net trying to coax it through.
Harvey's fourth foul. Well, they didn't get the easy one after all. They'll have to go to the free throw stripe to earn it. That's been no problem for him tonight. He's missed only twice at the line. 9 of 11.
It's happening all over again. Hugh Durham trying to win this basketball game by committing fouls, hoping they'll miss. Now they've made 3 in a row.
The difference this time, as opposed to the last meeting in Baton Rouge, is that LSU is hitting over 70% of its free throws. Typical day in the park for Shaquille O'Neal. Harvey spun Griggs to the floor, the fans wanted to call. Wilson's three won't go. O'Neal adds to his rebound total. Hansen dribbles into front court as the clock becomes Georgia's enemy now.
Oh, what a night for O'Neal. It seems like every time we come out to watch him play, Tom, he puts on one of those great exhibitions. You just think, well, the guy is good, but he keeps raising it to another plane. I mean, just how much better can this player get? You know, I look back over the great centers that this college basketball has produced over the 25, 30 years I've been watching college basketball. I would say Ralph Sampson and Bill Walton are the two guys that I in my lifetime that I've seen would compare to this young man, and he's still got 2 more years to go.
Jerry Tipton of the Lexington, Kentucky Herald-Leader quoted Marty Blake, the NBA director of scouting, to say, it's not a matter of where, it's a matter of when. He's the #1 choice whenever he decides that he's ready for pro basketball. Right now he's saying it'll be after he finishes his 4 years at LSU.
Well, it's because his dad has such great influence on him. He wants him to stay and get his degree. I applaud that.
10-point lead for the Tigers. Laterro Green maybe has found his shooting touch too late. Double team and a Georgia foul. It's on Howard. That's his 4th. Stops the clock with 1:12 left.
Well, if you're a good free throw shooter, you sure can pad your scoring numbers right now if you can walk up there and make these.
2 top scoring teams in the SEC coming in. LSU averaging over 100 points a game, and Georgia at 89.7. TJ Pugh returns to the free throw line. He's gotten all his points there tonight. 4 of them. 4 of 6.
I really would like to see this young man develop some sort of shot to maybe give Hansen a little bit of relief from that perimeter. LSU really needs an outside game. They need somebody who can shoot the ball well. They've got the inside game with O'Neal. Griggs gave him a big lift tonight, too, as did Singleton.
TJ Pugh went to high school in Baton Rouge, but attended junior college in Kansas, led the conference there in assists, and now leads the SEC in that department. Henson has a steal, but is out of bounds. Can't save it. LSU by 10 with 1:04 on the clock. Harvey pulls up with a long-range jumper that bottoms out.
Nice shot.
10
He should have
points.
been taking those all night long.
Yeah, he has 10 off the bench. Under a minute. Griggs is fouled with 48 seconds left. Kendall Ryan is on the court for Georgia, 6'6" sophomore from Lilburn, whose dad, Kendall Sr., played basketball at Rice and in the old ABA professionally.
Knew him well.
He was from your hometown area, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I played a little bit against him when I was in the ABA.
Griggs hits 2.
Well, LSU's made their free throws tonight. You got to give them credit. They walked up there and made them. That's been the difference. That and a guy by the name of O'Neal.
Ryan's shot is blocked and then saved. Green's three-pointer comes up short. Underneath, Howard lost it. And a foul on O'Neal. They finally get the 4th foul on the big guy, but it comes with only 33 seconds left in the game.
Let's go take a look at that 4th foul by Shaquille O'Neal. Good block right there. Ryan had to block Pugh with a good save, got it back in bounds. Now he fights to get back in to try to stay in the action. Ball comes up a little bit short. You can see the rebound right here on the inside, and O'Neal with the foul on the backside against Lamb Howard.
Howard with the free throws. Shooting this time for 10 points in the game. Howard's the man you'll remember that played the last 14 games of last season with a cast on his left wrist.
He likes the 10-foul rule.
Why?
Just curious. Do you like it?
Oh, I thought you said you liked it. No, I don't care for it. I don't know what purpose it serves.
Well, I thought the objective, it's a happy dog. No, very sad dog. I just really think that, you know, I think the intention was to keep down the fouls early on. Obviously, when you get to that 10 fouls, it really does slow the game down, as it has here.
Three-pointer, no good by Harvey. It'll go LSU's way. 25 seconds left. Pugh on a run out, but Georgia ready for it. Hanson double teamed. O'Neal, no look pass to the other guys.
I think that was a good block. That call, Griggs?
Yep, and that'll be 3 free throws for Laterro Green as Griggs commits his 4th.
Beyond the three-point line, he'll get 3.
As we pointed out, that was one of the key plays in the Georgia upset here last year, as Rod Cole was fouled in the act of shooting a three-pointer with 3 seconds left. Made all 3 of them to put the game into overtime, and Georgia, on back-to-back three-point plays by Marshall Wilson, finally won the game. Green hits the free throw, and it's time to take a look at our BP most valuable players for the game. No question about who they might be. Shaquille O'Neal of LSU and Laterro Green with a late scoring flurry for the Bulldogs of Georgia is the man that gets the nod from the Bulldog squad. BP and its dealers will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of both schools. No good on the 3rd free throw by Green. Just 10 seconds left now as Burns lays it up and good.
Good control of the basketball by the freshman.
2 seconds left as Green hits another 3 at the buzzer. So Laterro Green connecting for 26 points on the game now. O'Neal 34 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 blocks. Great performance.